everyone, I'm Paul Prosser, an instructor and project partner liaison for the School of Sustainability, and I'm the former program manager for Project Cities. In the last year of their degree program, Master of Sustainability Solutions students, also known as MSA students, are required to work on an applied sustainability project. Paige Anglin and Red Evans were students in my Sustainability Project Management course last semester and are currently students in my Applied Project course. Over the past academic year, they've been working with Project Cities to advance the City of Peoria's community forestry program. To assess community readiness and perceptions about creating a community forestry program, Paige and Red have been engaging with Peoria residents and city staff. Both of them have learned a lot in the process, but I'll let them tell you about their project.
Good afternoon. My name is Paige Anglin and my partner is Red Evans, and together we have been working on the Project Peoria Community Forestry Program for the completion of our SOS 593 Applied Project course.
In this presentation, we will give a quick recap of the project. We will briefly dive into the two main interventions, the matrices and the survey. We will discuss the challenges we faced, as well as the results and recommendations. Then we will open it up to questions.
In the fall 2020 semester, the City of Peoria, Arizona approached Project Cities in the 2021 MSUS cohort for research on the feasibility, desirability, and challenges of adopting a community forestry program, or CFP. This team was asked to evaluate Peoria's potential for canopy growth and plant adoption by researching forestry or shade programs in cities with similar climates, as well as reaching out to Peoria citizens to determine the community desire for a CFP. This process includes identifying the specific barriers and opportunities regarding implementation. To gain some information on how other cities are tackling urban forestry, our team created a matrix analyzing the strengths and weaknesses of forestry programs or initiatives in municipalities throughout Arizona, and then municipalities throughout the United States with exemplary plans. In addition, our team sent out a survey to residents in Peoria with questions pertaining to their knowledge of community forestry, sustainability, ecological services, and what success could be defined as in a future CFP for Peoria. This work was all done to assist Peoria in determining whether or not a CFP can and should be developed. In our team's first matrix, we analyzed the cities of Peoria, Chandler, Tempe, Scottsdale, Phoenix, Flagstaff, Glendale, Gilbert, Avondale, Mesa, Yuma, and Goodyear, all cities in the general Phoenix metro area. Tempe and Phoenix were considered some of the most advanced cities in Arizona due to their visible investment in and commitment to community forestry. Both of these cities related urban forestry back to their sustainability plans and had clear, achievable, yet aggressive goals for canopy growth and shade coverage. Because Peoria's Sustainability 3.0 survey was just collected, we think now would be a great time to incorporate forestry action plans into the city's sustainability plan. Outside of the Phoenix metro area, we studied Tucson, San Antonio, Austin, San Diego, Portland, and Albuquerque. The majority of these cities are similar to the Phoenix metro cities in terms of climate or population density. Tucson's Million Trees Plan, Austin's 2034 Urban Forest Vision, and San Diego's push for 35% shade coverage by 2035 are ambitious but dedicated goals and are supported by a variety of educational programs and workshops, funding, and citizen support. The main questions asked when analyzing each program were, is there a designated forestry or shade plan in this city? What are some tree education strategies the city or intra-city organizations use? What are some known next steps for community forestry? Is the city an Arbor Day Foundation Tree City USA? And is there any other relevant information that supports the city's forestry actions?
The survey was developed to provide the city with a better understanding of residents' preferences and concerns regarding the development of a community forestry program, as well as observations about the existing canopy. It will remain open for all of April and continue collecting responses that can be used by the city. The responses that have been recorded are very promising and provided insight into how residents would like to see the program managed and for what, and the threats and concerns they have seen regarding the existing canopy. Additionally, these responses have indicated strong support for the development of the community forestry program, with all responses indicating yes, they would like to see it developed. Over the course of the project, we faced a few challenges that were not insurmountable but did delay our timeline. Initially, there were more approval processes that the survey needed to go through than initially expected, which has contributed to the limited responses that we have at this time. However, responses will continue to be recorded and will still prove useful to the city. Together, these have made much more evident the brief timeline of an academic project versus a public project put on by the city. The initial survey responses have indicated a few general trends regarding management goals that residents would like to see, as well as threat that they have indicated. The management goals that received the most responses were sustainability, increased shade, reduction in heat, an improved sense of community, and more trees. Together, those provide a pretty solid base for the community forestry program. Additionally, the threats that were indicated were changes in climate, increased city population, lack of funds dedicated to tree management, and the threat of habitat loss, presumably regarding urban sprawl.
As a result of creating our matrices, our team has created a list of recommendations that we think could help CFP creation to be the most successful in Peoria. First of all, we recommend that the Peoria 311 app be made available on app stores like Apple, Android, and Google, and have options available for citizens to report beyond downed trees. One possible feature could be the ability for app users to place a pin on a satellite map of the city where they would like additional shade. Concentrations of pins could help guide maintenance crews on the areas where tree plantings are our biggest priority. Additionally, Peoria does not have a citizen tree planting or forestry board. Creating a board to advise tree maintenance individuals and policy decision makers on forestry topics would be a fantastic way of ensuring community involvement and input in CFP development. If creation of an entire board is not feasible at this time, then a subcommittee or a designated forestry board member could be added to the existing Parks and Rec board to advise on urban trails and the intersection of shade and walkability. Adding public fruit-bearing trees to the urban landscape would provide benefits beyond shade provision to Peoria. Advertising a citrus-lined walkway or corridor as a food forest could promote tourism and inspire discussions about sustainable and local food production. Additionally, whatever produce from the trees that is not picked and consumed by passerby could be donated to local low-income housing centers or shelters. As hinted towards in the Sustainability 3.0 survey, there is a lack of public understanding of what tree maintenance staff actually do. Actions such as removing trees can be confusing to local homeowners or pedestrians if there is no explanation given as to why that tree was removed, for instance, if it was diseased or otherwise compromised. If Peoria tree maintenance staff were to do social media takeovers, run a blog, or have another method of creating transparency, the community would have a resource with which to become familiar with common city forestry practices. Although it may not be feasible at this time, Peoria could hire an urban forester to work for or consult for the city, similar to Richard Atkins' role in Tempe. While Peoria does have arborists that are working on the forestry plan, a dedicated individual whose primary focus is the development of an urban canopy would likely shorten creation and implementation time of a CFP, as well as serve as a figurehead for tree-related educational campaigns. Thank you to the City of Peoria, Project Cities, and the School of Sustainability at ASU for sponsoring this project. We appreciate the work that you've put into making this project a success.